Let's pay homage to the lineage gurus. Homage to the Venerable Monk Liao Ming. Homage to Master Sakya Tsongkhong. Homage to His Holiness the 16th Karmapa. And homage to Master Dupten Darji. Homage to the three jewels of the altar. Homage to the main deity of the group practice tonight, Chundi Buddha Mother. Sumo Danzen Katso Dudan Siddhi. All Dhamma masters, Dhamma teachers, Dhamma educators, Dhamma instructors, Dhamma tutors, and directors of temples and chapters. And everyone, good evening, and those over the internet.
I stayed. Shanange. Hola amigo. Te quiero mucho. Scoy. Ichiban. Kimochi ii. Yumi. Happy. Purin purin. Konbanwa.
At first, I was going to talk about last night, tonight. But Sumu told me not to talk about it, about things at home, not to talk about things at my home. Last night, I did not sleep until 4 a.m. and got up at 8 a.m. So on this Dharma throne, I closed my eyes to take a little rest, but I did not fall asleep. Did you see me falling asleep? No, that's right. Just remember the overall merit dedication. As long as I remember which deity we are practicing, that's good enough. Coming back from Taiwan, this is the second Saturday. We've been back for about 10 days. Still have a little bit of jet lag. The weather in Taiwan is really different from the weather here. Here, I always feel that it's kind of cloudy. And in Taiwan, it's more sunny. It gives a different feeling. not used to, not so used to Taiwan, but I'm also not used to here, so I don't know where I belong. Where that's why Sakyamuni Buddha said that life is suffering. I think I would be more suitable in Sukhavati. We have the 4 seasons, right? In the Saha world. It's too cold in the winter, too hot in the summer, and the autumn is too and the spring is good to sleep. So in the Western paradise or Sukhavati, we only have that graceful, harmonious sound. So by hearing such a sound, you would feel very happy. So that people like to chant or be mindful of the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, and to practice the 37 enlightening factors. There are only 7 treasures there. The water is the meritorious water, and people will not get sick. They will not age. Everyone is young. And the temperature is just right, with only some soft breeze. That's why in the Amitabha Sutra it's mentioned that the soft breeze caresses the 7-layered pavilions, the trees, and net that would generate music. Such a good place. The residences or the abodes are palaces made of Indra pearls, and there are no natural disasters there. Like this time in Turkey, the 7.8 magnitude earthquake will not exist in Sukhavati. And the food, it comes with the thought. So you think of it, and that the food will appear in front of you. What you wear is celestial garments, no dust there, no dirt, no PM 2.5. There's no dust whatsoever. So you can wear the same clothes all your life. They're all celestial garments. And they're all luminous, radiant, illuminated. And your body is also luminous. And your clothes too, very bright. And no need to wash them. They're all naturally clean. The place you live in are palaces of 7 treasures, and your transports. From my own experience, it's according to your wish and spontaneously. And you travel to wherever you want to go. Other countries, other Buddha verses, Buddha lands. And you bring a lotus blossom to make offerings to bodhisattvas of other Buddha lands. It's happened very easily, naturally, according to your thought or wish. And you would be there, and it would happen. There would be heavenly music to listen every day. Very wonderful music. And by listening to it, you would feel happy, and you will not get sick. You will not get old. You will not die. So such a realm, such a world, you will not feel tired. You will not say that you're so sleepy today. You never feel tired. And in the future, we will all go there. This is a joke about line. The wife told the husband, the husband sent a line text to wife. We are bankrupt and we have lots of debts. All I have left is this house, and I will leave it for you, and please take care of yourself. And the wife asks the husband in line, but where are you now? I am at the top floor, at the roof. And the wife said, please come down soon, right away. But I've decided no need to discourage me. But the wife said, but listen, this would affect the price of our house. Why don't you go to the roof of the building across the street? See, the Saha world, you still want to earn money. Everyone wants more money. But in Sukhavati, what money do you want to earn? The gold covered the ground. Under the meritorious water is the golden sand everywhere. And above the water, on the water, there are lotus blossoms as big as car wheels. And then I said it upside backward. Lotus blossoms as big as wheels of cars, and on them are the lotus youths. Wouldn't that be wonderful? You don't need to earn money, you have everything there. Only then it's called the realm of utmost bliss.
有赚钱，
the Saha world is so pitiful. If you don't earn
欠了
money,
人家钱，
then you owe
走
people,
投无路，
you have no
要怎
hope.
么办？
What should you do then?
每天都在烦恼，
Then you worry every day and become afflicted.
再讲一个笑话吧。
Let me share another joke. That's a joke about money.
幼稚园办活动，
The kindergartens of
这个幼稚
event,
园呢，共有3个小班，
there are 3 small
分成
classes.
每个班出场的时候要喊口号。
One is the
小一班
Kid
喊的口
one,
号是
and
小
they
一
have
小
to
一
yell the
永夺第一。
what's called the motto.
小2班的口号是小
The
2
little
小
one is always
2
number
独
1,
一无二。
and the second class is the
等到小3班
little
出场，
2. It's the only one, none to second to none, and the third,
小
the
3
little
小 3， 爸爸
3.
的心肝。
Oh, this little 3 also means mistress. It's most dear to dads.
刚刚讲的是财，现在是讲的是
We
色。
talk about money earlier, and now it talks
美
about
国的 motel，
sensual pleasures, about
真正的汽车
lust. Motel in America are
美国的 motel，
motor hotel,
这个烟烟遮遮的。
so you
台
can
湾的
just
motel
go stay at the motel
不一样，
openly. But
没有人敢
motels
去，
in Taiwan
但是大家都偷偷摸摸的。
is different. People don't dare to go there
大家知
openly,
道
but
台
they
湾的
go there
motel 是怎么样
secretly.
子啊
We
去过
all
台湾的就
know
知道了。
what motels are
我
about
记
in
得有一次
Taiwan.
啊，我隐居的时候啊，
If you've been to Taiwan, you would know. I
有人跑
remember
到车库来找我，
in
然后
my
我家车库
seclusion,
他站在车库门前一直等我回来。
someone stood at the garage door to wait for
没
me
有
to
这
come
种出
home.
现，
And
找
finally,
到
I
的人很惊
appeared
讶，
and I saw that person and was shocked.
哇，怎么搞的？他会站在我这里？
How
我隐
come?
居，没有人知道我是我这里。
She's standing right here. Nobody knew I live
我一
here.
看是谁啊？
And when I took a look, who was
毕
that?
彦法师，
That was Reverend B. Yen.
毕彦法师站在我那个大楼的车库
She stood
门口，
at the garage
车子回来就
door of my building, the building I
说
live
你不
in.
要站在这里，我等一下有事情。
So when I got home, I saw her and told her, "Don't stand here. When I have time, I will look for you."
整个饭店的人都看着我，
When I
我是
went to
撞
see
头
her,
上，怎么跑到这里？
everybody in the hotel was
毕彦法师住哪里？
glaring at
住
me
摩特，住
because how come a monk?
住摩铁
And where did she stay? At the motel.
啊？毕彦法师呢？
Where is Reverend
住
B.
那
Yen?
一间是摩特是吧？
Was there a motel that you
应
stayed
该
in?
是，你都不知道
It
那个是
should
摩
be.
特，
You didn't know it was a
所有人都
motel?
看我啊，我
Everybody
到摩
was
特来干什么？
fixing their gaze at me. Why I went to a motel?
因为比较便宜啊，那个
Because
车
it's
只有
cheaper.
400块，过夜只有800块。
$400 for a rest, for a nap, and $800 for a
那
night.
个 hotel， 它是 motel，
That's NT dollars. Nowadays, there's no more hotels at such a price.
好了，你坐了。
But motels are different from hotels. It's okay, you can sit. It's okay that you did not know.
真的，说那个是属于色。
So that's
你看那个
about
小三，
lust. get the
大法的
joke.
心甘。
The third party, the little third, is Dad's love.
在天上啊，在极乐世界没有那个问题。
In heavens, in Sukhavati, there is no such
到
problem.
底是什么？那如何解释极乐世界的问题？反正没有问题，
How
就是没有问题。
How do I describe Sukhavati? There's no problem. No problem. It's no
新加坡
problem.
的莲花湖岸问的，新加坡的弟子
Question from Singapore. Yanhua
师
Fuan.
尊，弟子想请教
Homage to
师尊
Grandmaster. I would like to ask a few questions.
这是进入主题了哈。请问，
This is the main
如果
topic.
要移动香炉来清洁坛城，需要选时辰吗？
Do I need to find the appropriate time to move my incense burner and clean up my shrine?
茶水会渗
Because
透到
sometimes I carelessly tipped over the teacup, so the spilled tea flowed to under the burner.
时辰，
In such a situation,
好吗？
is it okay to move the incense burner without consulting the auspicious date or time? If it's not okay, is there a workaround?
这是属于世俗的问题，
This is a mundane question.
世俗的问题。真正的坛
A
城在
mundane
哪里？
question. Where is the true altar?
我常常讲，
I often say
就在我
that my house is in my body. My body is my home, my house.
出家就是出
I have said it before
处都是家，
that by leaving home, your home is everywhere.
身体就是我们的家。
And our body is our home.
坛城在哪里呀？
Where is the
坛
altar?
城就在你的心里。
The altar is inside your heart, mind.
世俗的坛城，
An external altar belongs to the mundane.
密教的坛城庄严，
Tantric altar
色我
is very beautiful,
我们心集中在
is
坛城上
to
面。
help us focus our mind on the altar.
其实这个不是问题，
So this is not the
但是不
problem.
是问题，一般人还会造出很多的问题。
So even when it is not a problem,
什么时候
people still make a problem out of
哪个
it.
时辰动什么好？
So at what
有
time
时辰是好的时辰，
are good for what, and how many,
今天是不好的日子，
and which times are good times or auspicious ones, and which ones are bad ones,
什么时候
and which day to move the ground or to open the business,
真
etc.
正的学佛
Those are all defined by
什么
human
日子都是
beings.
好日子。
But for true Buddhist practitioners, all days are good days.
任何时辰都是好时辰。
And any time of day is a good time.
那你要表明对坛城的恭敬，你就
If you want to show respect to the altar, then you
我现在
tell
要移动
the
香
Buddhas and Bodhisattvas on the altar that I'm going to move the incense burner to clean it up,
啊，请所有的本尊
and inviting all the deities,
这个不管时辰好坏，
regardless of whether the time is good or bad.
我现在要移动香炉，
Please understand that I want to move the burner now.
然后你就可以移
And
动。
you lit the incense and tell them, and then you can move them around.
还有一个开解的方法，
And there's a workaround.
什么开解的方法？你不会请那个我们今天讲经的那个释迦牟尼佛的伞盖，
Can't you
把坛城
invoke
盖
the
住，
parasol of Sakyamuni Buddha, the one we talk about in the sutra,
念大白伞
or you invite Siddhartha
妈妈哄你哄配好妈妈哄你说哈妈妈哄你说哈妈妈哄你说哈妈妈哄你说哈
and you visualize the great white parasol to cover your house. Then it doesn't matter how you move. There is not impolite. It would be unethical because none of the gods and ghosts outside would see it. You know what I invented for sleeping? It's wonderful. Because at the head of my bed, it hangs a huge tanka of Kalachakra that was hung by Sakura and Master Piano. And so I chant. The 10-syllable mantra of Kalachakra. Just exactly 10 syllables. After completing chanting that, then I visualize the Kalachakra Vajra shield to descend. It's round and it covers my whole house. And I sleep under the Kalachakra's Vajra shield. Then I don't need any sleep protection with the light anymore. None of the swords and weapons can penetrate it. And I sleep at peace, and I don't need to do protection for sumu. Everything is is covered under it. Everything in the house. And I sleep really well. So you can use that too. There are many different methods to work around it. Once it's covered, whatever happened inside cannot be invaded by anything. Anything good or bad would be blocked outside it. Then that would do. That's good. And the great white parasol of Siddhartha Hom Mama Hom Ni Soha. And the white parasol descends covering your house. And then whatever you move inside it is fine. You don't need to check the dates. That's my answer to Lianhua Fuan from Singapore. Let me tell you a secret formula. No, I cannot say this. It's secret. I wanted to say, but no. You want me to say it? Sorry. Maybe just sharing a little bit. This is the first fifth formula of the dual body practice. To cover your own room. Then the gods and ghosts outside it will not know. This is the first formula of the dual body practice. There are many, many key formulas in this practice. You will not know unless I transmit them. They are important. The second formula, the third formula. But monks out there who would just do it without understanding the key formulas, then that's grave sins. If you have not reached the non-leaking states or the no-self, a state of no-self, then you're not qualified to do this practice. And if you practice it, then you have to suffer its retributions. So this first key formula, it's just very tiny. Is to cover it so that it's unknown to the gods and ghosts. That's the first formula. Question from Lianhua Fuan from Singapore. Second question. We practice Buddha Dharma in order to gain true understanding of the mind and to see our nature and to be in charge of our life and death, or to transcend life and death. According to my literal understanding of being in charge or transcending life and death, is if a Siddha in the human world wants to live forever, is it true that conceptually his body doesn't have to deteriorate and can live as long as the heaven and earth, and even in the face of the 3 major and 3 minor calamities, that he would stay unscathed? I never thought of this issue. You're very smart. So a Siddha in the human world wants to live forever. Is it true that conceptually his physical body doesn't have to deteriorate and can live as long as heaven and earth, and he would be unharmed by 3 major and 3 minor calamities? What do you think? Nobody dare to answer. Let the smart one speak. You raise your hand. Just listen to your strange argument. It's not bad. Nobody? So I will speak. Actually, it's stated in the Vimalakirti Sutra. Vimalakirti regarded the Saha world to be pure land. Transmigration or reincarnation is the same as nirvana. The Vimalakirti Sutra will talk about this. The most important topic or subject in the Vimalakirti Sutra is, if your mind is pure, then the Buddha lands is pure. There are Buddhas in the Saha world, Bodhisattvas, Sravakas, Prateka Buddhas. In the Saha world, there are also sentient beings of the 6 rebirth realms. humanly beings, human, asura, hungry ghosts, hell, animal beings.
所以娑婆世界在维摩诘经
So the Saha world
杂基础
in the Vimalakirti Sutra is a combo land, not a pure land.
这里面，
It's all mixed here. Sakyamuni Buddha was Buddha, right?
宝积菩萨讲记
And the accumulated treasure Bodhisattva is a Bodhisattva, right?
好多菩萨在娑婆世界。
There are many Bodhisattvas in the Saha
释
world.
迦牟尼佛就是佛，
Sakyamuni Buddha is a Buddha, and his disciples were
佛
Sravakas.
目犍连
Sariputra, Madhyakalana are all Sravakas.
还有严劫，其他宗教的
Pratyeka Buddhas, all the attainers of other
就是
religions.
严劫，
Jesus was a Pratyeka
耶稣
Buddha.
就是严劫。穆罕默德也可以讲他是严劫，
And we can also say Muhammad was a Pratyeka
然后
Buddha.
再来天呢，
And the heavenly beings.
这个娑婆世界，
There are many devas, devis in the Saha world.
你看我们所供的菩萨，他们来来去去，来来去去，
The Bodhisattvas that we enshrine, they come and go, and they're also in the Saha
都是
world.
这个天，像祭司天，
And heavenly
在
beings
祭司天请
like
来
Indra, when we pay homage and invoke him, he would
在
come.
娑婆世界的半山，还有
And halfway up Mount Meru, in the Saha world, they are the heavens of the four heavenly kings. And so there are heavenly beings there. And human
地狱
beings,
道的世界，哪里是地狱道？
and the realm of
讲了
hells.
吗？旷野也有这个
Then we say there's the border
天，
hells in the wilderness, and at the ocean shores or
也是地狱之一啊。
in the ocean, there are hells. Hospitals are one of the hells too.
在这里面呈现的。
And there are many causes and effects that manifest
那
here.
也在娑婆世界啊，
And animal
吃的
realms
鸡鸭
in the Saha world. What we
牛
eat,
羊，
chicken, ducks, goose, lambs, beef, I mean,
还有恶鬼道，
they belong to the animal realms in the Saha world.
就是恶
In the hungry ghost realm, like those
恶鬼道，
who suffer in the famine
另外还
in
有
Africa. They had nothing to eat. That's the hungry
阿
ghost
修罗
realm.
呢，它在
And
海
Asura
里面呢，
inside the great
在
oceans,
海底啊。
at the bottom of the oceans.
所以我们这里这个土叫杂基土，
So this land is called a Kombu land.
一个人间的成就者，他要想
So someone who had attainment
大事，
in the Saha world wants to live forever,
老姑婆
to
讲
continues to live. It's possible, like Guru Padmasambhava,
老
like
姑婆，
like
就是
spoken
姑婆。我们以前后
by the old
我们讲后婆婆，还有老姑婆，
lady.
老姑婆讲，老姑婆她很快乐啊，
She's very happy.
她还会跳那个阿弥陀佛，
She could dance the Amitabha,
很火辣的老姑婆。
very hot old lady.
莲花生大师是这样子的，他
Guru Padmasambhava was like
经过
this.
一个坟场，
Once he passed by a cemetery
刚埋葬，但是
and saw a lady that was just being buried, and he knew
他把那个
that
baby 救
the
出来，
baby inside her womb was still alive. So he saved the baby
那个 baby 是
and raised her.
他养大，
It's a baby
他会
girl.
娶她为妻。
And then had her as his wife.
不知道活了多久，他走
So we don't know how long he lived to. He did not die. When he was leaving Ishichogal, he said, "My affinity with here is about to end." So he rode on a cloud vehicle and was going someplace else to deliver people there. So he did not die. He's always alive. And he said, if you chant his mantra, Guru Padmasambhava's mantra, as long as you chant his mantra, Guru Padmasambhava's mantra, wholeheartedly, he would appear right in front of you. So he hasn't died. How could you say he died? He would appear right in front of you. Will not die. And one more. Nagarjuna Bodhisattva also hasn't died, doesn't die. He lived very, very long life. Until at that time there was a king in India who followed Nagarjuna Bodhisattva. That for however long Nagarjuna lived, the king could also live that long. If you have read Nagarjuna biography or holiography, you would know. But the prince, because the king could not die, if the king does not die, the prince could never become a king. So the prince begged Nagarjuna to die. And Nagarjuna agreed. Because in his causeless conditions, there was a sharp grass that he cut, those sharp grass. So he had that causes and effects. So to let himself die, the grass was very sharp like a razor. And then he cut or he put it around his neck and died. So the king died too. And then the prince could become a king. But Nagarjuna did not have to die. He could stay alive forever. But it was due to the request of the prince. Because if the old king never dies, because he lives as long as Nagarjuna Bodhisattva, the prince could not become a king. So he asked the king, his own father, to die. Such a strange thing. But don't also find it strange. Because in China history, prince or the son to kill the father in order to become a king, or brothers killing each other just for a name, for power. They kill each other. So the physical body can be indestructible and live as long as heaven and earth. Someone told Grandmaster, you want to live longer, because I want to follow you, so you have to live longer.
79啊，今年
I am 79 this year,
过年就是台湾岁79
according to the Taiwanese counting.
啊，在美国呢
After the new year, I am 79. But in America, I am 78.
我说好，我答
You
应
have
你
to live longer. And I said, okay. Okay, I agree. I will live longer.
啊，我说我活久一点，那你一定
I
要
will
跟着
live
我。
longer. And you have to follow me.
当然了，大家都要跟着师尊嘛，不，我们没有指
Of
哪
course,
一个人，对不对？
everybody must follow Grandmaster. I'm not talking about a particular person.
这个叫自主生死，日面上了。
This is called being in charge of life and death.
我高兴生哪里就生哪里。
Actually, transcending life and death, or being in charge of life and death, is like you can be born wherever you like and you can die wherever you want to. I really don't want to live on.
要死就死，
But
这才是自主生死。
so if you want to be born, you're born. And if you want to die, you die. That's called transcending life and
当然是
death.
好玩啊，
Because sometimes the Saha world is no
有
fun.
时候又很好玩。
Sometimes it's fun, but sometimes no fun at all.
生死存乎自心，啊，高兴怎么死就怎么死。
So life and death is up to you. You can die wherever you want.
他说他某
We
年
have a disciple
要死，
that said that he or she wants to die at a certain date,
然后
certain month, certain year.
台湾雷藏寺来，
And then this person
某年某月某日我要死，
went to the Taiwan temple and told me
凭什么能够
I would die at
你要死？
that date. And I'd ask that
然后
person,
他就讲， 我知道的，
based on what?
那个好像
That you would die.
去告诉他某年某月，
And that person said
我说
that, oh, I know. It's like someone told her.
你能不能把你的
And I
命
said, okay.
你身体里有气，
You have qi inside your body.
下行气，
What kind of qi? Upper qi, lower qi, peripheral qi, fire accompanying qi, and life
当
qi.
中最重要的就是
And of these 5 types of qi, the most important one is the life qi.
顶窍，
Can you transport your life qi
你能
out
不能
your
把你
apex?
身上的命气
If you
运出
can,
天
then you would die. Are you able to
上
do
直接到
that?
天上，
Can you transport your life qi directly to the heavens?
说那你不会死，
Can you? That person
这
said
才叫
no.
自主生死
Then
啊
then you will not
要
die.
死的时候要把自己的命气
Only then you're called
其他
to
事情
be in charge of your life and death.
推上己，推向
That you
由命
collect your life qi
跳不再回来，
and push up the central channel out your apex and never to return, then you will die. Otherwise, the life qi is unmoved, is not moving.
是不动的。
Of the 5 kinds of qi, the life qi
所以你如果
does
能
not
够
move.
住在你的身体里面不动，
So if you can maintain your life qi inside your body, being unmoved, then you can
还要保持
continue to live.
你的肉体。
On top of that, you need to maintain your physical body to be healthy.
所以师尊也当师尊也不简单了。
So it's not easy to be a
当师尊也不简
grandmaster.
单师尊还要有
Actually, it's not easy to be grandmaster.
力
Grandmaster has to have
出你这个
energy, power,
年轻的力，
the power of youth.
人家会得到这个什么射护腺、
People get
射护
prostrate,
会
swollen
得到这个射护腺
prostate cancer, etc.
师尊不会，
But not Grandmaster.
不能夸口啊。
Oh, but I should not boast. What if it happens?
那个射护线为什么会回大？
Why the prostrates get swollen? Because you don't use them.
用了就不会回大。
If you use them, they will not get swollen.
一般来讲，到80岁的人呢，再也不能生。
Typically speaking, at 80, you will not give birth to children. You will not
哭啊，那是哭啊，干哭。
bear children because it's already dried up.
告诉大家，师尊没有哭，
But let me tell you, not Grandmaster.
也不是笑，那是哭，哭掉的哭，枯萎的哭。
This is play of word of Chinese. Not crying, not loud.
所以师尊现在还可以做双杠。80岁的
So Grandmaster can still get on the double bars. The 80-year-old man can still be on the double bars.
做双杠有什么难？
So easy,
师母就说
can't be difficult at all. But Simu said, no, never. Don't do it again, because your hands would be up there and your body is down on the ground. And how about the single bar? It's the same. I can lift my body. I still do push-ups 200 times every day.
照样打棍打拳。
And I play the Vajra pole and the Vajra fist exercises.
应该是没有什么困难的。还有自主生殖啊。
So there shouldn't be any problem having children or to be in charge of life and death. Grandmaster can move Grandmaster's qi.
很多女生都喜欢这样子的好男人。
Many women love this kind of good man.
上床睡觉。
Always up at 9 sharp and sleep at 9 p.m. Never smoke, never drink, never flirt, never dates. No rumors, no secrets, no personal savings, no Facebooks, no Line, no suspicious texts, and always very, very quiet and sing. And we have many men like this here. Where? In the prison. That's how the prison is. The chief of the cannibal tribes asks his subordinates to catch a few officials. But how about commoners? Is that because they're no good? No, because the commoners are too bitter, because they suffer. Now we will talk about the Vimalakirti Sutra. I will go through it faster now. The Buddha spoke on Dharma with one voice. When Sakyamuni Buddha spoke Dharma, it's always with one voice. It should be in the Pali language, Pali. The audience, each according to their understanding, all accept it, practice, and receive its benefits. This is the most uncommon display of transcendent power. The Buddha spoke using Pali language with one voice, but all the audience would receive different explanations.
今天师尊在说法，
Today, Grandmaster is speaking Dharma,
有时候的解
and
不
sometimes
一样，
everyone's understanding is different.
他们听到的
What they hear
不一样的解释，各有不同的解释。
would be
借位世
different
尊同其意，实则神力
for
之
them.
功法，这也是一种神通变化。
So this is also a kind of transcendent power.
师尊说法不只是在这里说法，
So Grandmaster giving Dharma teaching is not just here.
在全世界上
All over
有
the
很多
world,
的国家，
there are many countries,
很多的同门
many
都
disciples
可以看到卢师尊，
who can see
看
Grandmaster
见
Lu.
哦，不是晚上做梦啊，晚上做梦
Not
不
in
算
the dreams, okay?
白
That's
天
not
看见，
counted. But seeing Grandmaster in broad daylight,
白天看到，
there are already people like that now that see Grandmaster giving Dharma teaching to them in broad daylight, not at
我们这
night.
里也有几个同门，
And we have
在
several
座这里面也有
disciples
几个同门，
sitting right here who had seen Grandmaster or
而且
heard Grandmaster teaching Dharma, and Grandmaster is never separate from them.
你们这里有人有这种能力哦，你相信不相信？
Someone seated here has such capability. Do you believe it
就
or
在我
not?
们这个西雅图的藏寺之内，
Right here inside the Seattle
白天都
temple,
可以看到师尊，
several of them can see Grandmaster
而且师
in
尊还
broad
可以跟他
daylight,
说法。
and Grandmaster can tell them Dharma.
各见师尊在其前，每一个都可以看到师尊站在他的面前。
They all can see Grandmaster or Sakyamuni standing in front of them.
在灵山说法
Oh,
一面，到了南印度，吉祥
one side he's giving Dharma teaching at the Vulture Peak, and the other side he's giving
责任金刚法，
a Kalachakra Dharma transmission to King of Shambhala
可以，
in the
因为
auspicious
在灵山说法，
rice gathering pagoda.
他在南印度的吉祥米具塔，跟
So
月贤国王
he could speak on Dharma at both places at the same time.
现在要讲释迦牟尼佛的神力是不共法，
Sakyamuni Buddha's divine power is uncommon, and it's the same with Grandmaster now.
新加坡某一个人
Someone in Singapore, now I will not say the name
太
because
太死，他只要
it would be too
那
shocking.
卢尊讲说，我什么时候要去西雅图，
And she told the Grandmaster Lu there,
什么时候我要去，
I will go to Seattle at what day,
我这里就知道了。
and I want to see the original Grandmaster Lu, and I would know right here when she would come.
真的啊，
This is true.
那个人那个谁认识？十一师姐，
Dharma sister Sally knows her. Is Sui here?
你在那里啊？是不是这样？
Is that the case?
是，
Yes.
十一认得他。
Sui knew her.
那个人只要跟我的法身讲，我什么时候要去西雅图，
That person just
就
told
知道。
my Dharma body when she's coming to
他有
Seattle,
这
and
种
I
能
would
力
know.
可以看到另外一个卢师尊，
She has such a capability to see another Grandmaster Lu and teaches her every night.
有证人有证据的，
So there's witness in
不
this
是随便吹牛的。
and proofs. It's not boasting.
而且师尊根本没有离开过他，
And Grandmaster never apart from
台
her,
湾也有，
never abandons
所以现
her.
在世界各地
And
都有
also in Taiwan and many countries around the
这个
world.
就是释迦牟尼佛各见
So this is
世尊在其前，就是神力不共法，
Sakyamuni
皆为
Buddha
世尊同其理，都是讲释迦牟尼
seeing
佛
the world honored one right before
施者
them,
神力不共法，这是不共法。
that this is the most uncommon display of transcendent
他
power.
的弟子讲跟哪一个弟子
So to teach this Dharma to that disciple, this disciple, that disciple, they're all different. Of course,
就
then
是讲一样的，
that is uncommon. It doesn't say the same thing.
有这种能力，那你死了以后你照样啊，
If you have such a
还不是在娑
capability,
婆世界，
after you die, it's all the
跟生
same.
又有什么分别？
You're still in the Saha world. What difference is life from death then?
像师尊一样啊，
Just like
跟
Grandmaster,
心里经常在一起。
Golden Mother and Grandmaster are often together.
要是经理在青云山顶的这个
Golden Mother is at the peak of Mount
瑶
Kunlun
池仙苑，
at the Jet Pond Fairyland.
但是其实他跟师尊在一起，
But actually, she's together with
是
Grandmaster
很简单的解释。
in an instant right away. It's very simple explanation. One moon is reflected or appears on thousands of rivers.
不但如此啊，
One moon
还是活的。
manifest or appears in thousands of rivers. And not only that, they're all alive and they can talk.
你只要跟本尊相应了，你就有这种
As long as you gain spiritual union with the Yidam, then you have such a power.
啊，师尊跟瑶池
Once
仙
you
缘
gain spiritual union with the Yidam,
随时都可以
Grandmaster is in spiritual union with Golden Mother. I can speak to Golden Mother anytime,
他也可以随时告诉我，
and she can tell me anytime too.
这个佛以一因演说法，众生随类各得解，皆为世尊同其理，师则神力不共法，这是不共法。
The Buddha spoke on Dharma with one voice. The audience, each according to their understanding, accepted practice and received its benefits.
大家都
Oh,
每一个人听到的都不一样，
and
普得受行或其利都得到。释迦
everyone receives it
这
differently.
种利益，师则神力不共法，这也是不共法。
All accepted practice and receive its benefits. This is also uncommon
他
Dharma.
的神通变化，跟你讲的，跟他
Observing the Buddha with the pure mind, they are filled with joy, each seeing the world honored one right before them. This is the most uncommon Dharma of transcendent power.
恐畏或欢喜，
The Buddha spoke on Dharma with one voice. Some are fearful and some are joyous. Some are appalled and went away, and some resolved their
用一个
doubts.
声音
This is the most uncommon display of
有的人
transcendent
听
power.
到，
The Buddha spoke with one voice. Some
因为
people,
他跟他讲，
hearing
做
it,
这个事
very
就
fearful
会有因缘果报，
because
跟恐惧。
the Buddha told him that by doing this, you have to suffer the retribution, and then he feels fearful.
你会有福报，
And then to some people heard that this is very good, you would gain merit and blessings, then they would feel joyous.
欢喜就不一样。
So some fearful, some joyous.
有的是恐惧，
So two people hearing it
或断语，
are different.
有的认为说，哎，
Some
我
are
要离开这个道，
appalled and went away.
听到佛的说法说，
They want to
佛世界，
leave the Saha world when they hear the Buddha teach Dharma.
佛就帮你解答了。
Or if you have any doubts or questions, the Buddha resolved them.
师则神力不共法，
This is also the most uncommon
你看释迦牟尼佛，
display of transcendent power. Sri Sakyamuni Buddha had such a power.
他虽然是只有一尊，但其实变化
Although he was just one deity, but he
的化身
transforms into many.
法非常的多。
His emanations
像
are
世界的阿弥陀佛，
numerous. Like Amitabha Buddha of Sukawati, he could also
发
transform.
生大事就是看变化，
And Guru Padmasambhava was
莲花
one
生
of
死也
his
就是他的变化。
transformation. Padma Kumaras are also his
还有呢，
transformations.
他在西方极乐世界，
And more.
他化现呢，
In Sukawati,
也是他
he
变化的。
manifested the peacocks, the parrots,
嘉陵平家也是他的变化。
Kalavinkas.
然后这个都能够修行37道品，
And they all can cultivate the 37 enlightening factors
自然而然的
and can let
念
people
法念僧
naturally
修行37
be
道
mindful and chant the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha and practice the 37 enlightening
阿弥陀佛
factors.
的变化。
Those are
所以莲花
manifestations of Amitabha Buddha.
谁的变化是阿弥陀佛的变化。
So Guru Padmasambhava was a transformation of Amitabha Buddha, and so
所以
is Padma Kumara.
阿弥陀佛
Also
会变
are
化，
Padma Kumaras.
如是尊也会变化。
So Amitabha Buddha can transform, and so can Grandmaster Lu.
我们就在我们这里面，
Right here,
我们能够看见如是尊。
there are people who can see
不只
Grandmaster
是晚
Lu,
上看见了，
and not only at night and not in the dreams.
做梦算什么？
What's a big deal? Dreams are all
然后
kinds of
做了梦以后还乱七八糟的。
messy dreams, and then after having all those messy dreams, you ask about them.
以前有高敏路看见世尊，
But this is a real seeing.
多高？
Gao Minglu, Dharma brother Gao Minglu saw Grandmaster
怎么高富帅？
as tall as 2 floor.
真身啊，不是很高，化身啊要变多高就变多高。
My true body is not very tall,
多大就有多大，
but my Dharma body can be
看到2层楼高。
as however tall, however huge you want it to be.
这是真的哎，在我们这个雷藏寺里面就有好几个可以看到。
There are several inside the Seattle temple now that can see Grandmaster in the daytime.
暂时不要讲。
I will not talk about it for the time
想
being.
啊，有的是为恐畏欢喜，有的是厌离断离。每一个看到的真身
So some are fearful
都是如是尊。
and joy, some appall went away, some dissolved their doubts. So they're all Grandmaster Lu, but they speak differently to different people.
七手十力大精进，
We bow to the 10 powers of great diligence.
菩萨向释迦牟尼佛七手，同样的
The accumulated treasure Bodhisattva
十力
bow his head to the
佛本
ground,
身有10种
which means
大的
homage.
力量。
Buddhas have 10 uncommon
就
powers.
是释迦牟尼佛
Great
大
diligence.
精进，
Sakyamuni Buddha
大精进，
is great diligence.
像
He's very diligent
就如尊修行，
in spiritual cultivation, like Grandmaster Lu, very diligent.
烧法船的超度，
Just look at how I perform the 1000 Dharma
不
vessels
用做了吧
Bardu deliverance. I said,
？No，
then I don't have to do it in Taiwan, right? No, I have to continue.
从台湾回来应该
And
就不
coming
用
back
做
from
了，
Taiwan, I can stop, right? No,
还是继续做，
I still must continue. Until when?
做到你不能做。
Until you cannot do it anymore.
昨天晚上2点，我
Last night at 2 a.m., I was still practicing. I was still performing the Dharma. I was still on the Dharma throne, practicing. I did not sleep until 4 a.m. Now there are even more. Those who died from the Turkey earthquake. They said there are two kinds that I can save, the important ones. They have to have good roots to go to Sukhavati. They have to have good foundations or good roots in order to go Sukhavati. And second, they have to be single-minded and mindful of the Buddha to go to Sukhavati. But people of those countries, how can they understand the Buddha? They probably never heard of the Buddha's name. Maybe they only know from school that there is such a thing as Buddhism, but they don't know how to cultivate spiritually. But the Amitabha Sutra stated you have to have good roots and to have to be single-minded to go to Sukhavati. Then the Pure Land Trinity will appear and guide them. So how to save them? First, I chanted for them to hear. First, I invoke Amitabha Buddha to come and radiate boundless light to bless them, to purify their body and mind. Second, I chant the Buddha's name for them to hear. I chant and they chant together. And with the cause of chanting the Buddha's name, then you have the effect or the fruition of going to the Pure Land. That's how I perform the birth of deliverance. The great diligence. A Buddha must be diligent. One of the Bodhisattvas, Mahastama Prapta, is also called the greatly powerful Bodhisattva. They're the same. And also the greatly diligent Bodhisattva is the same as Mahastama Prapta Bodhisattva. So Bodhisattvas have to be diligent. Moreover, the Buddhas. We bow and pay homage to the fearless one. Of course, nothing to fear. Grandmaster too is fearless. In this stage, Grandmaster now is fearless. So I have written about unhindered philosophy, the philosophy of no hindrance. And the spirit of being unhindered is fearlessness. Everything is fine. And you're fearless about it. Which means you have confirmed the way. So what are you afraid of? Since you have attained the way, then you're fearless. So the accumulated treasure Bodhisattva pay homage to Sakyamuni Buddha that the Buddha had confirmed, had attained and already fearless. We bow and pay homage to the one abiding in uncommon Dharma. His transcendent power, manifestation, all uncommon. We bow to all the great teachers. The greatest guru of all Buddha Dharma, Sakyamuni Buddha, the great teacher. And we bow to the ability to break all bondages. Sentient beings are all in bondage. held in bondage by what? By themselves.
贪名就被名绑，
If you have desire for name, then you would be held in bondage by name. If by wealth,
佛法
you're held in bondage by
到
wealth.
众生的
So whatever you have desire for, then you will be held in bondage by it.
没有人绑你，
And the Buddha break the bondages. Nobody bound you. You bound
没有人
yourself.
绑你，是你自己。
You hold yourself in bondage. It's
起
you.
手已到于彼岸，
We bow to the one who has arrived at
你
the other
得
shore.
证了，你就到达彼岸了。
Once you have attainment, you have reached the other shore. Like the 1,000 Dharma vessels
这些经，
have reached
所有的
Sukhavati,
必登彼岸，
and all the spirits have reached the other shore.
就是到达了彼岸。
So they have
彼岸
arrived at the other shore.
就是佛，
The other shore is Buddha.
你已经没有束绑，
No more
到了
bondages.
那个境界，那个境界就是彼岸，
Once you reach that realm, that's the other
其实
shore.
连境界也没有。
Actually, there is no such a thing as
出
realm.
来让你看了，
A realm is only something manifested for you to see.
彼岸只是一个名词，
So this shore is not a shore. The shore is only a name or term.
你已经没有彼岸了，还是
Because you have arrived, you have no more shores. That's why it's called arriving at the other shore.
七手能度诸世间，
We bow to the one who can deliver all the worlds.
释迦牟尼佛
Pay homage to Sakyamuni Buddha
成为大
that you can become the great teacher in the Saha world
都给了众
and to give all the important Buddha Dharma to sentient
世界
beings,
的众生，
that he can deliver
七手
sentient beings of the Saha world.
释迦牟尼佛他证道以后，
And we bow to the one who has abandoned all paths of life and death.
所以称为
After
如来
Sakyamuni Buddha attained the way, of course there are no lives and
就
death.
好像有
That's why it's called seemingly coming and seemingly
永
going,
远离开生死
or tathagata,
无生
that you have abandoned
没有生
life and death forever. Because when there is no birth, there would be no death.
永远离开生死道，
No birth and no
你
death.
的显现也是一种淡化，
So your appearance also
像是
an illusion.
卢师尊
Like Grandmaster Lu
在新加坡
can appear in Singapore, can appear in
也
Taiwan,
能够显现在这个 America，
and can appear in America too.
也能够显现在加拿大，
Can also appear in Canada and all over the place.
都有，也能够让人家看见，也能够
I can
让
let people see,
什么地方都可以显现
can also be in mainland China, everywhere, anywhere.
细知众生来去想，当然了，
You know the phenomena of the comings and goings of sentient
众生
beings.
怎么来，众生怎么
Of
去
course, Sakyamuni Buddha know how sentient beings come and
这
go.
是相，
And he also know all the phenomena,
所有一切
like stated in the Vajra Sutra. All
知道真实智，
phenomena, those who can know the fundamental wisdom or the true wisdom has gained enlightenment. And wisdom of discernment is the worldly wisdom. And leaving behind the world, beyond worldly, what's left is the fundamental wisdom.
他在说法的时候啊，能够
So
让
you have
所有
gained
众生
liberation through the mastery of all Dharma.
心的解放，身体的解放，一切通通都
When
解
giving Dharma teaching, you can let sentient beings gain liberation. No more bondages.
不着世间如莲花。
Untouched to the world like the lotus.
很简单的，
This is simple.
莲花是
Lotus
在乌林里面长大，佛出世间，
grow amid the mud.
佛
The
在世间
Buddha
成佛，
attain Buddhahood in the Saha world, but leaving the world is in the world and also beyond the world, transcending the world, and pure like the lotus. The lotus grew out of the mud, but he's the most pure. The lotus is the most pure. So unattached to the world like the lotus, that means pure. Your conduct is always in emptiness and extinction. He has confirmed the empty nature. You know, Sukhavati has 4 pure lands. The pure land of pure and serene light, and the Sambhogakaya Buddhas are in the magnificent land of reward, and the Nirmanakaya Buddhas is in the lower 3 lands. And when Sakyamuni Buddha was in the Saha world giving Dharma teaching, that was Nirmanakaya Buddha. So he was in the mixed realm of both the sages and the mundane. Once he had attainment, reached Buddhahood, he's in the pure land of pure and serene light. His Dharma body, Buddha, Dharmakaya Buddha, is in the top level, pure land. And the Sambhogakaya Buddha is in the magnificent land of reward and the abundant pure land of convenience. So he understands about all phenomena. No attachments, no afflictions, no life and death. There is nothing to be worried about or nothing. So we bow to the one relying on nothing like the sky. The accumulated treasures Bodhisattva pay homage to Sakyamuni Buddha like the sky, relying on nothing. He doesn't attach to any one thing. People in the Saha world is attached to money, attached to looks or sensual pleasures, attached to name and recognition. These are the 3 key ones. And of course, there are 2 more, to food. Love food. I think there's a joke. A fat girl said, in other people's tummy, they have talents, but inside my tummy, there's bubble tea. Yeah, this is Chinese. Play of word. There's cause and effect. When you're fat, don't say that you're fat without eating. If you don't eat, how can you be fat? Because you love to eat. That's why. That's cause and effect. If you don't eat, how can you be fat? We bow to the one attaching on nothing like the sky. When you truly attain the way, you're like the sky. There are no such things as wealth, fame, looks, food, and sleep. Like United States of America will have an election next year? This year? No. Next. When? The presidential election? Next year, 2024, right? And look at that ex-president. He's decided to come out. So he's so attached and never let go. Amitabha. He's been the president and he wanted to do it again, as if he would die if he didn't do it. And he had to do it. Oh, what can we do? Even telling him Buddha Dharma, he would not understand. He would not understand. Because whatever you're attached to, then you would be held in bondage by it. If you have no attachment at all, who can bound you? Who can hold you? Who can hold you in bondage? Nobody can. You hold yourself in bondage because you have greed. How come the fraud or the scammers cannot cheat me? Because I don't care for the money that you bait me with. That's why I just give Dharma teaching. What can you trick me on? Oh, if you invest in this, then you would gain a lot of money and just give you a little bit in return, and then they ran away with it. That's how the scammers do it. Just to give you a little bit of sweets, and then you have to suffer greatly because you have greed, right? Actually, I have no attachment toward my children either. Of course, I love them, but not so attached to them. Everything is up to the destiny. Life and death is according to your karma. Prosperity and nobility is up to the heavens, up to the karma. Your conduct is always in emptiness and extinction. We bow to the one attaching on nothing like the sky. So if we go through them fast, it's like this. We cover a lot in no time. Oh, we've told this joke, but let me say it again. It's quite funny. The couple was fighting, and the husband was really angry, slapped the door and left. And the wife shouted from the window, "What time are you coming home? If I come back, I'm your grandson." And the wife was angry too and locked the door. And 2 hours later, the doorbell rang. And then she heard, "Grandma, I'm back. Open the door." Because he said if he comes back, he would be your grandson. So that's why he called her grandma. Om Mani Padme Hum.